So I'm going to do some demos of my Viga Music Tools Intramic. I actually spent quite a bit of time trying to decide how I was going to do this video. I originally thought that I would compare the Intramic to a studio condenser and an SM57 and my AMT TA2 clip-on mic that I've been using for a few years for clarinet and bass clarinet. But then I decided it wasn't actually a very good way to demonstrate the mics. The Intramic is designed to be used as a live stage mic, and so its application is very different from a studio condenser, which wouldn't be used on stage. A studio mic picks up a lot of detail in the sound, but that also means a lot of everything else on stage. And I wouldn't use the Intramic in a recording session unless I wanted a very particular kind of sound, because I normally wouldn't do a recording with such a close mic. I'd want to have a bit more of the room sound in the recording environment, whereas the Intramic provides a very close and direct sound, which is what you want in a live setting. You want a very clean, direct sound that the live sound engineer can work with without interference from the other instruments on stage. Then I thought even the idea of recording the Intramic for this video is actually not ideal, because that's not the setting that you would listen to it in. On stage, it would go through the mixing desk and then come out through big PA speakers and into the venue, and would be mixed with the live acoustic sound you're producing. And this alone drastically changes the perception of the sound compared to listening back on your computer or your phone or in headphones or wherever you're watching this video. Also, you should remember that any time an instrument is amplified or recorded, you're never actually getting that natural sound, but only ever a representation of the sound. But I thought the video should be done anyway, but do bear these things in mind anytime you're listening to recordings and microphone tests. So in the end, I decided to only do the recording with the Intramic and the AMT, because those are the clip-on live mics. So I've been quite happy with my AMT, and I still do like it, but there have been times where the features of the Intramic would be a bit more desirable, particularly playing in a loud band with drums. The AMT does a very good job of fighting feedback from monitor speakers, but it does sometimes still pick up other instruments on stage, particularly drums. This is a problem mostly when I'm running through some delays or reverb, and the drum hits end up going through the mic, and then the drum hits get delayed as well. And then the other problem is the coverage. While the AMT does a pretty good job of picking up the whole instrument with the two mics, there's still some spots and some notes that jump out more than others. So this means that it has to be run through compression, so the volume of the quieter notes can be brought up without the loud ones becoming too loud. And it just evens everything out. And this is what I had to do in these recordings as well. So the bass and contrabass clarinet are very heavily compressed, and the clarinet also a bit compressed on the AMT recordings, just to make the sound more even throughout the range of the AMT mic. I've also applied EQ and a bit of reverb, because that's just a more natural depiction of how the mics might sound live. I am going to be recording both these mics at the same time, just so the playing is exactly the same, and so you can just kind of hear the difference between them. Okay, and now for the bass clarinet. Okay, and now for the contrabass clarinet. So you can see, again, I've got the TA2 up here, but it only comes down about as far as the mouthpiece. I still have more than half the instrument that this mic just doesn't pick up. So I've also added an AMT LS mic here. This is one that I normally just use on saxophone, but yeah, putting it here, it's covering, getting most of my right hand finger holes. So hopefully between them they'll manage to get most of the contrabass clarinet. So overall, I'm super happy with the Intramic. It does give a bit of punch and edge to the sound due to where it's placed on the instrument, but I generally think it's quite a natural sound. On the contrabass clarinet, I think I lose a bit of the body of sound, but that's just a natural phenomena from the recording process of using such a close mic on such a large instrument like that. And it's not something that I perceive when I run the Intramic into a larger PA and through bigger speakers, but it's just something that I hear in the recording process. And as I said before, this isn't the mic that I would use if I was really like recording for a CD or anything on the contrabass clarinet. But I also don't think there's any better alternative for contra in a live setting. I tried the 3-mic setup live in a trio with electric guitar and drums and the contrabass clarinet running through electronics, and it was a disaster. The sound engineer just couldn't bring up the volume enough without feedback, and in the end, I didn't even use my electronics, and the mics weren't even enough for live amplification. So overall, I'm really happy with this Intramic. It could be times where I might prefer to use the AMT over the Intramic in certain situations, but I'm really glad that I do have this mic, and it'll definitely be a big asset playing amplified live and running through electronics and things like that. Not to say it's not without some other issues or problems. There's nothing perfect with anything in the world. Yeah, so I'm going to write up a bit more of an in-depth review of the mic, discussing all these different things. So please stay tuned to my blog, jasonalder.com/blog, to see what the whole review is going to be. So thank you.